Hello, folks. Well, it's been a little while since I talked to you folks about who my choice of my next president I plan on voting for in the White House. But I want to give you a little feedback on what I've been thinking about anyway for the last few days since I've mentioned to you about my presidential hopeful. I remember in 2001 I voted for President George Bush, and I used to say, I used to always put the word honorable in front of them. I find it extremely hard to use that word anymore, talking about some of them. But I remember voting for him at the time, and since that day, I've seen. We've been just going downhill. A collapse. We've collapsed, and I remember in 2008. I remember looking at my wife and I says, "Honey, I cannot vote Republican this next time. I just can't. I was so afraid of, forget my family, forget children out there. I was afraid of the planet not being here. That's how bad I felt from 2001 to 2008. Things have gotten just collapsed. So I said to myself, A, the country cannot afford another 4 years of the route that we were choosing to go. So I voted for the Democrat Party, which was President Obama. I'm watching what has been going on, the way the cost of living has been going, the cost of everything. What has been happening? We are continuation of corporate people stealing hundreds of millions of dollars and getting away with it, and this scam and that scam, and I don't see it getting any better once again. So I ask myself, I go, well, who do I vote for? I went from a Republican to Democrat because we were going for a collapse. Now we're Democrat to what? Is there anything else out there? Because we're obviously heading in the wrong direction again. So I told myself, I says, I just got finished watching that movie Game Change about Sarah Palin with Ed Harris, Julianne Moore, and Woody Harrelson. I'll tell you right now, that has got to be, that just moved up to one of my favorite movies. Go watch it. I didn't realize Sarah Palin was actually like that, but I will tell you this right now. If that is how Sarah Palin really was, and that movie was pinpoint accuracy to how she made governor and how John McCain asked her to be her running mate, that's what we need in office right now, folks. There is not just picture this now, okay? Here's our people. Well, here's our politicians who think they know it all, who act like they know it all, who think they're educated. Look at where they've guided us. Nowhere. Downhill is where they've guided us. Now, here's a lady who, from what the movie said, knew nothing, but she's got a lot of common sense. Her family was first and meant more to her than anything else. That is a woman I want to see in office. I think she is the only person who could guide this country upwards. The only person who could put morals back in our country, back in our families, back in our communities. The only one. No brainer, nothing. No one's even close. No one's even on the same page as her. So I've told myself, unless she runs, I'm not going to vote. I'll be like another person out there in America who says that doesn't matter anymore, because that's the way I've been looking at it. It doesn't matter. I've always been a strong believer that we already know who's going to be president. This is just my opinion. I'm 100% sure it's rigged. I'm pretty sure we know who's going to be our next president in 2012, who's going to be our next president in 2016, who's going to be our next president in 2020. I've always believed in that. It's no difference than fixing a ball game or whatever. Same thing. Same exact thing. But anyway, unless she runs, I'm not even going to bother voting. And when I say this, folks, I'm going to tell you two things, okay? Number one, look at where this world has been going, and then watch that movie, Game Change, okay? Number two, tell me if you think I'm correct about there is no one even close to bringing this country back to the good old days, unless it's Sarah Palin. She's the only one. The only one. Go watch it. Game Change. Phenomenal movie. Sarah Palin, we're counting on you. I'm counting on you. I think the world's counting on you. Even the people who don't know anything about you, who don't know you, are counting on you and don't realize they're counting on you. Does that make sense? No? That's my vote. Sarah Palin, all the way.